Hey, how's it going? It's your boy Chiefs Race Bolts here. I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a tier list. I did tier lists probably maybe 5-6 years ago, and this is my first time back on this website in a while. And dude, let me just tell you, there are so many goddamn ads on this thing. It's kind of ridiculous. Should be illegal. Anyways, instead of doing a generic prediction video in which I know I'm going to be wrong, I thought this would be more fun. Let me just tier rank these 8 remaining teams by would I be happy if you won? Would I not give a shit if you won? Or please don't win, I hate you. And that's what I'm doing here. I've created these 3 separate categories based on teams that I would want to see win, teams where I wouldn't care if they won, and then teams that I really, really, really hope I never see win in my life because I dislike them that much. Let's get right into it. I'm just going to rank them as is. And I'll give you a short little reasoning for each team as to why I chose the category I put them in. First off, let's go with the Detroit Tigers. I would not care if they won. I'm just going to keep it real. Like if tomorrow I watched the Detroit Tigers lift the Commissioner's Trophy, I'd be like, cool, good for them. Don't really give a shit. When was the last time the Tigers even won a World Series? Hey Alexa, when was the last time the Detroit Tigers won the World Series?
Tigers last played in the World Series in 2012 and last won the World Series in 1984.
Okay.
They won 4 times overall.
Alexa, when were the Detroit Tigers founded?
The Detroit Tigers were founded in 1901 and they are 125.
Holy shit. They were founded in let me fact check this real quick. The Detroit Tigers were I'm sure this is knowledge I used to know and just forgot over the years, but this is insane to me. 1901 they were established. Well, they were actually established in 1894, but they started playing as the Tigers in 1901. 1901. They've won the World Series 4 times in 124 years. In 124 years, they've won the World Series 4 times, and they haven't won the World Series since 1984. Dude, that's nuts. That is absolutely insane to me. 125 years of playing baseball, and you've won the championship 4 times. Oh my goodness. That almost makes me want to put them in the I would be happy for you if you won. But I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't really care about Detroit or the city. I don't think the fans are bad, but I don't think they're good either, just based on my personal experiences. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I had a bad interaction on Twitter with somebody who didn't have a profile picture but claimed to be a Tiger. No. If you're judging fan bases off of interactions on social media, that's your fault. You should be judging fan bases on real life experiences. And based on my real life experiences, wasn't too fond of Lions fans. Tigers fans, they're all right. Honestly, I'm going to keep them in the I don't really care if you win category. Like, it's not going to affect my life at all. Moving on, Los Angeles Dodgers. This is tricky. As a fan of a team that is not named the Dodgers, I am like every other fan base that's not the Dodgers. I don't want the Dodgers to win. They are the Patriots of Major League Baseball, but in a way that is, in my eyes, not respectable at all. And that is like literally buying your team. I don't like the Dodgers because they just go out and buy anybody and everybody they can to get to a World Series. And yeah, of course, they don't win every year, but you buy yourself a playoff spot every year. And it's so hard for me to sit here and watch the Dodgers as a Rays fan because the Rays will never be the Dodgers. We're never going to spend that money. We don't have the market size that Los Angeles does. Tampa's a small city compared to LA. While they don't make the championship every year, dude, they buy themselves a playoff spot essentially every year. They haven't missed the playoffs since 2013. That's not like, oh, the front office is just doing really good in their drafts and they're making really good signings at cheap prices like the other leagues with salary caps. This is just straight up the battle of the riches. Who's going to spend the most money? Who can afford the best players? That's the Dodgers every year. Because of that, I really, really don't want to see the Dodgers win. But this is a little plot twist. I would be happy if you won. Honestly, honest to God, I would be happy if the Dodgers won. Not because I like their fans, not because I like their team, but because I think that if the Dodgers were to go back-to-back, it would really increase the chances of MLB looking at this and them saying, hey, we need to implement a salary cap. I think a back-to-back Dodgers championship greatly increases the odds of the MLB implementing a salary cap, and for that reason and that reason only, I would be very, very happy if the Dodgers win the World Series. Not because I like them. I really don't like them at all, but I think that it would be good for the long term of the league. I hope I'm right. I really, there's a piece of me that's just go LA all the way, and please MLB look at that and say enough is enough. Time for a salary cap. That's what I hope. New York Yankees. This doesn't need an explanation. Yankees, you're my least favorite team, perhaps in all of sports. I don't like you at all. I've never liked you. And to the Rays, you are our biggest rivals every year. I was saddened that the Red Sox went up 1-0 in the wild card just to lose the next 2 games, but oh well. Yeah, hope you lose next round. Philadelphia Phillies. It's the same thing. It's there are 2 cities in between the 4 sports in which they are just the absolute top tier. They are the worst fans to be around, the cockiest, the most arrogant, the biggest a-holes, and they're proud of it. That's these 2 cities. It's New York and Philadelphia. Like, they suck. I'm not saying every fan sucks, but I'm saying the majority of their fans suck. And again, not talking about what you see online. I'm talking about real-life experiences. I've had more bad interactions with these 2 fan bases than good ones. I don't like either of these teams. I don't like either of these 2 teams' fan bases. I don't like either of these 2 teams' cities. I don't care for them. I hope they both lose next round. Seattle Mariners. I would be absolutely happy if you won. Seattle. I always cheer for teams that have never won a championship to finally win their first championship. As crazy as that is to hear, I actually, once the Chiefs were eliminated in the 2017 playoffs, I actually cheered for the Eagles to go win the Super Bowl because they had never won one before, and they ended up doing it, and I was actually happy for them. Looking back, I regret being happy for them. But this is just the nature of being an empathetic sports fan, if you've never won a championship, every fan base deserves to see one championship in their lifetimes, at least in my opinion. And Seattle's been around for a very, very long time. They've never won the World Series. So for that reason, I would be extremely happy for them and their fans if they were to win a championship. Mariners were established in 1977, which was almost 50 years ago, and they have never even made it to the World Series. They haven't even gotten that far in almost 50 years of playing baseball. And that to me is like, yeah, you deserve it at some point, man. You absolutely deserve it at some point. I'd be happy for them if they wanted this. They've got a good chance this year, I think. They had a really good season, and I'd be happy to see them win it. And it's the same exact thing with the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, they're in the exact same boat. They've been around since 1969, again, over 50 years ago. They've been based in Milwaukee since 1970, so 55 years they've been a team. And just like the Mariners, the Milwaukee Brewers have never even made it to a World Series. Obviously, I'm gonna hope that one of these 2 teams ends up winning it, really, or LA, just for the salary cap purpose. But I would be way more than happy for Milwaukee and their fans if they end up winning the World Series this year. I hope it happens for one of those 2 because, like I said, every team deserves to see a championship in their lives. That kind of leads me into the Cubs because the Cubs, they have one World Series in the last 120 years, something like that, came in 2016, 1908. So they've won one World Series in the last 100 and basically 15 years, 115 years, one World Series. So when you really think about that, people who were born after 1908 and died before 2016, bro, they spent their whole lives being a Cubs fan and never once saw the Cubs win the World Series. That's insane. That's absolutely insane to me. And that's why I really hope that teams like the Milwaukee Brewers and Seattle Mariners, they get to see their World Series soon. Because that's cruel. That is so beyond cruel to dedicate your life to being a fan of a professional sports team. You basically got a 1 in 30 chance every single year, and you lived, let's say, 80 years of life, and you didn't see your team win at one goddamn time. That's not just brutal, that's depressing. That's sad. That you could live your whole life, spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on game tickets, merchandise, anything related to the team and not see a single championship in your life. That's crazy to me. So, Chicago Cubs, you got yours in 2016. I know the NL Central teams really don't like the Cubs or their fans, but because the Rays never play them, and I've got no bad blood ties to the Cubs, I mean, it's kind of giving me 2016 vibes. I would be happy if you won. I would be. I know Cardinals fans hate the living shit out of the Cubs, but like I said, as a Rays fan, don't really care. We don't have a rivalry with them. We don't have a rivalry with any of these teams, really at all, except the Yankees and Blue Jays. So let's get into the Blue Jays. They're a division rival. It's never been a rivalry of bad blood. We're just kind of two teams that have coexisted in the same division. We've never really had a huge rivalry. Anytime the Blue Jays play the Rays, I'm not like, oh boy, here we go, it's rivalry week. Not the same way that I look at the Yankees or the Red Sox, where I'm like, God, these goddamn teams again, gotta play them again. I don't view the Orioles or Blue Jays that same way, but they are still a division rival at the end of the day, and I don't like that they beat us a lot. So I don't want to say don't win, I don't like you, but I will say I don't really care if you win. So this is my final tier ranking. Let me just recap real quick. Dodgers, Mariners, Brewers, Cubs, and I would be happy for you if you won. Tigers and Blue Jays, I don't really care if you win. It doesn't bother me. I'd rather one of the teams above you win before you did. And then you got the Yankees and Phillies, just the most atrocious fan bases, the most insufferable teams. And if you skipped the video to the end and you didn't see my explanation on the Dodgers, let me just recap it real quick. I want the Dodgers to win the World Series this year for the purpose of MLB looking at that and saying, okay, there's a problem. The system's broken. We need a salary cap. I want the Dodgers to win so that way the MLB has a better chance of implementing a salary cap. Don't like the Dodgers at all. If it didn't have to do with salary cap purposes, if there was a salary cap, they would easily be in the please don't win, I don't like you tier. But I hope they win. I hope either the Dodgers win or really the Mariners or Brewers win, just because they've never won one. Cubs have had one in the last 115 years, so one more wouldn't hurt. All right, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully the Rays will be in this tier list next season. But it was kind of a lost season. Didn't even have a real stadium. It had its ups and downs, but I didn't really pay too much attention after the All-Star break, and this is where I'm at. So, see you in the next one. Goodbye.